Hello everyone, and welcome to my Feixiao guide. Feixiao is the new Lawfu general joining the Honkai starter roster with her giant axe and her Gojo characteristics. Feixiao is a 5-star wind unit following the hunt path and will be available in the first phase of the 2.5 update. She's mainly a unit that does most of her damage through her dual-wielding weapons and ultimate. Although, with the scalings we will see on her ultimate, I'm pretty sure they will nerf her pretty hard. In this video, I'll be giving you a guide on Feixiao based off the current leaks, with everything being subject to change, and any numbers I show here are again subject to change and are all level 1. Also, you can now support me through the join button if you want, but subscribing and watching my videos is more than enough. Let's get moving though. For her basic attack, although I'm not sure, the red and blue colors that appear when she attacks could potentially mean something, but from the leaks I have read so far, those do not mean anything other than just being colors. Basic attacks deal 24% extra damage to weakness broken enemies as well. For her skill, she uses her axe to throw the enemy into the air and advances herself forward. The skill deals additional damage to enemies that are not weakness broken to a total of 24% damage multiplier. Onto her talent, Feixiao gains 1 point every 2 attacks used by allies, and Feixiao's attacks are not counted. After any ally attacks, Feixiao launches one follow-up attack against the target, dealing wind damage, and if the target is dead, Feixiao will launch the follow-up attack instead to a random enemy. This can only happen once per turn and resets every Feixiao turn. Her technique, she enters the on-rush state that lasts for 20 seconds, and she pulls enemies within a certain range, decreasing their speed, and she gains 1 point to her ultimate after entering battle. If she attacks while in her state, every enemy she has pulled enters combat. When she enters combat, she deals wind damage at the start of each wave, and this damage is guaranteed to crit. If you pull 1 or more enemies, it increases the damage by 100%, up to a total of 1000. For the last part, if you pull 3 enemies, then the damage multiplier will go to 300%, if you pull 5, 500, and so on and so forth. And for the coolest part of her kit, and an insane animation in my opinion, her ultimate needs at least 6 points to activate and can go up to a maximum of 12. I'll explain later how you get these points for her ultimate, but for now, she deals massive wind damage based off her attack to a single enemy, reducing their toughness regardless of their weakness type. So even though she's wind, she can break physical, lightning, fire, all that. And if the target is not weakness broken, Feixiao gains 100% break efficiency. After that insane damage, she launches attacks that are equal to her basic and skill until her points are 0. After she reaches 0 points, she throws a final hit, and for every skill point consumed, she deals an extra 6% that scales off her basic attack to the target. If they are weakness broken, the damage multiplier increases to 9% instead of 6. After the 6th hit, if the target HP is 0, she keeps every point she has left and launches the final attack immediately. The final hit mentioned here probably goes to a random enemy, but it could also go to the dead enemy. Again, it doesn't clarify. Moving to the traces, the first major trace, receive 4 points to her ultimate at the start of every battle, and if there are no allies active on the battlefield when she takes a turn, receives 1 point to her ultimate. Her second major trace, when she deals damage through her ultimate, the hits will count as follow-up attacks. And for her third major trace, follow-up attacks from Feixiao have an increased crit damage of 60%. If you're going to be pulling for Feixiao Eidolons, I'll skip 3 and 5 because we already know what they do. For her E1, every time she uses her ult, every point she consumes, the final hit additionally deals 30% of Feixiao's attack to a random enemy. Her E2, which is my recommended stopping point, the attack count required by the allies' attacks is reduced to 1, so at E2, allies need to attack only once to give her a stack. Her E4 makes the basic attack and skill do follow-up attack damage. And her E6 increases the follow-up attack's wind respen by 20% and increases the damage multiplier of the talent's follow-up attack by 360%. The damage dealt from these is considered ultimate damage. On to the actual guide of Feixiao. For relics, I recommend you go with 4-piece Valorous since it gives crit rate and ultimate damage, but the 4-piece follow-up attack set is also pretty good. 2-piece Wind with 2-piece attack or 2-piece FUA, or any of those mixes are also fine, so if you have good substats on them, use those until you farm a better 4-piece set, or you can stay with the 2-piece 2-piece. For planners, we have lots of options thankfully. The new Lushaka set is very good if you want to support another unit, potentially in a dual DPS comp where Feixiao isn't the main damage dealer. Space Healing Station is okay, and Glameth is really good since her base speed is 125 to 150, which means Feixiao can almost have 100% of Glameth from just being herself with no buffs. Salsodo is honestly the best in slot for her because it buffs both ultimate damage and follow-up attacks, which are also very integrated into her kit. You can use Duran as well. It is in my opinion the second best thing to Salsodo for now, since you can easily stack it to max with one ultimate. So basically, if you want both follow-up attack and ultimate damage, go Salsodo, or go Duran if you want more follow-up attack damage. For main stats, go crit rate or crit damage on your body piece. Attack percent boots I recommend since she wants her allies to attack for her to gain stacks, but speed boots aren't at all worse than attack percent. Go wind or attack percent on your ball and attack percent on your rope as well, since I can't really see lots of options in her kit that allow her ultimate to be better if she has more energy. For substats, speed until 134 to get 2 turns in the first cycle, then crit rate or crit damage, and finally attack percent. Moving on to teammates. Any follow-up attack character like Clara, Ratio, Herda, Himiko, Jade, Yunli, Shui, and Topaz, and others all work really nice with her. Hunt March and Jingyuan will also work nicely with her since they have lots of hits per action. Some of these units might not be playable with her, but they do work very good with her if you do decide to play them. I predict she will be a unit of dual DPS comps and not a hyper carry, so you most likely can run Clara, Ratio, and the others. Mose is also going to be very good since his talent allows him to launch a follow-up attack when allies attack. I'll be making a Mose guide soon, so stick around for him as well. For buffers, Tingyun is okay, but realistically you will have her ult by the time you want to use it. Ranmei and Robin are going to be great supports for Feixiao teams since they buff whatever she needs, like break efficiency or extra damage and point regeneration from Robin's ultimate hits. Not to mention, Robin buffs follow-up attacks crit damage by 25%. If my theory on her being a dual DPS kind of unit, then they get even better since they buff both units' damage output. Sparkle is kind of a replacement for them since her team-wide buffs don't really compare to Ranmei and Robin, but she's a great option if the others aren't available. Another unit I want to bring attention to is Asta, because she is a great support and most people already have her at a decent Eidolon level, so don't be shy. Her speed buffing ult and passive 50+ attack bonus on all allies is no joke. For the newer characters, Jiaochu is also going to be a great option for her since he buffs ultimate damage, which Feixiao obviously likes. As for the sustainers, Lingsha and Adventurine are going to be the best sustainers for her since they attack with follow-ups, meaning they give more points to her over time. Plus, if allies take damage and they go below 60% with Lingsha on the team, she launches a follow-up attack. Examples of team comps is Feixiao, a buffer, a sustain, and a second buffer / follow-up attacker / DPS. So some actual examples: Feixiao, Asta, any sustain you like, and Clara or Yunli. Feixiao, Robin / Ranmei, a sustainer, Hunt March / Mose for a second buffer / follow-up attacker, Feixiao, Sparkle, Sustain, Ratio, and Herta for a follow-up attack team again, but without Robin or Ranmei. And lastly, Feixiao, Robin, Sustain, and Jiaochu as a second buffer or sub-DPS. For light cones, obviously her best in slot is the signature light cone. It increases the wearer's crit rate by 15%. When a single ally uses an attack, the wearer gains 1 stack of Lumen Flux to a max of 6 stacks, with each stack enabling the ultimate damage dealt by the wearer to ignore 9% of the target's defense. This effect will be dispelled after the wearer uses their ultimate. Cruising in the Stellar Sea is also very good because it gives crit rate to Feixiao. Only Silence Remains is also pretty good. Swordplay can also be a good light cone, especially in MOC and Apocalyptic Shadow where the enemies are bigger and have more health, so you can easily attack an enemy 5 times in one battle. For free-to-play, River Flows in Spring is very good, and Final Victor is also pretty good. Return to Darkness, the Battle Pass light cone is also really good if you have it, and Sleep Like the Dead is very nice if you have it as well, but a better 5-star limited light cone from Topaz or Ratio are going to be better. And finally, her materials. She's going to be having a new boss material called a Glass of the Besotted Era to ascend. And her weekly boss is either Phantilia or the new boss material, which I have no idea what it is. For the traces, you'll want the Meteoric Bullets, the material that Boothill uses for himself. I would put Feixiao's value at a solid 8 out of 10 for now. It is very likely that this pull value will change, but I will make a video again once another version releases. Expect my updated video on her V3 most likely. Her ratings in the endgame are 9 out of 10 in Apocalyptic Shadow, 3 out of 10 in Pure Fiction, 5 out of 10 if you pair her up with someone to kill the small guys, and 9 out of 10 for MOC. She has lots of hyper carry abilities and tons of potential, but she's most likely going to be in a dual DPS team in my opinion. I'm super excited for Feixiao because she looks absolutely gorgeous, and her kit having different new things makes her even more interesting in my opinion. I'll be doing a Lingsha guide soon enough after this video is released, so make sure to subscribe when that happens. Anyways, thanks for watching, subscribe if you like this guide.